Alright, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Floyd, a.k.a. Jad, a.k.a. Commish, a.k.a. owner of Team Delaney Saggy Tits, and joined, as per usual, by my lovely co-host, Michael Wiseman. How you doing, bro?
I'm great, and I'm looking forward to another victory this week.
So you won last week then, yeah?
Yep,
oh, you crushed me?
That's right.
Yeah.
Got my first win against you in this league.
I can't believe that Chris Thompson play. I mean, it didn't end up meaning anything, but our matchup was closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Even after your first couple guys, Alshon and Saquon going off early.
They really carried the team this week, for sure.
But anyways, we were going to have a guest on today. But as you can see, we are guestless. It was supposed to be Trevor Wiscotchel, but dude literally doesn't even know how to work his own Skype, so he missed his chance. So onward we must go. Michael, you want to take us into standings?
Yep. We finally got someone alone at the top, and it's AFK Rob David Team xnxx.com/Alexis Texas, the lonely 5-1 team, followed by a trio of 4-2 teams. Your team, Delaney Saggy Tits, and Mike Brobes, 4 Down Territory at 4-2, followed by our would have been guest today, Trevor with Team Joe Mixon Yo Bitch.
Trevor snuck in there after only a couple weeks ago. We assumed he'd be clawing at the relegation.
Yep, 3-game win streak, I believe.
And there's actually a possible chance where he has a share of first place after the end of this week. So
it's possible. I don't think it'll happen, but it's possible. And then we have 4 3-3 teams, including myself, Team Butts, which is by Kyle Butts, obviously. And then Get to Black, Damian Brown, and the Evansdale Carpet Munchers, Nicholas Rudder. Followed by 3 2-4 teams, Juices Loose, Mikey Martinez, the Gale Quails, Drake, and the Golden Taint, Ricky. And finally getting his first win, but still at the bottom, 1-5, multiple Gorgasms, Derek Walker.
Yeah. Obviously, we're about, what are we, week 7?
Yep, this is week 7.
So after this week's over, that'll officially be half of the season will be over. I feel like not much of the standings has changed, but there's a lot to go. Robert still hasn't hit any of his bye weeks, so it'll be interesting to see.
This is the first one.
There's going to be a lot of mix-up going on in the next half, so it'll be fun to see. Let's just jump right into trades this week, as well as any notable waiver pickups.
Yeah, that's right. Do you want to do trades first, or do you want to do the waivers first? Because obviously we got a trade that we can talk about as of right now. I think was there more than one? There might have been another one a couple days ago.
A couple, maybe like 3 or 4. I know I was a part of 2 of them.
Yeah, you had the one where you traded Chris Thompson for Larry Fitzgerald and Wendell Smallwood.
Yeah, so that started off the trades. I figured Wendell Smallwood was fine. I already have Darren Sproles, whatever. That was just so I could get a volume back, knowing that I'm going to be losing Chris Thompson. I kind of was more of looking for, going for a 0 RB style and really trying to sell on a chance to get a high upside guy. And I know at least Drake for sure is convinced that Minnesota's defense isn't what it used to be. It may not be, but I'm trying to say that Arizona has some looking up. They faced Minnesota last week, and they were already trending up. So hopefully they can get over their little bumps, and Larry Fitzgerald can do what we have seen him do time and time again, year in and year out. So that's just what that was, filling in that last flex spot.
Yeah,
I'm not super – go ahead.
I have no problem with Larry Fitzgerald as a receiver or even any of the really offensive weapons that Arizona has. The problem is the play calling. Mike McCoy, I think the Cardinals are first in the league in rushes right up the middle, and that's not how you're.
You can keep going.
That's not how you're supposed to use David Johnson. David Johnson's one of the most versatile backs in the league. He can line up as a receiver or out of the slot. He's a great receiver out of the backfield, and he's just a very talented running back. And they just keep pounding it up the middle. It doesn't really make any sense to me. So I guess if they can get that situation figured out, I think it's going to reflect positively for Larry Fitzgerald. As for Chris Thompson, the Redskins just look bad. I don't really know how else to describe it. They should be decent, but they're just they're having their struggles. Like Crowder's been disappointing, Alex Smith's been disappointing, Jordan Reed hasn't done very much, and even Josh Doxson has just been, even though his expectations weren't really high coming into the season, it's just been a disappointment. So I guess I have no problem with you dealing Chris Thompson, considering how underwhelming the Redskins have been. But also, I don't know if it's going to get any better for Larry Fitzgerald unless the play calling improves.
Yeah, can't say anymore. You already said it all, I assume.
Yeah, and then the second trade was between Damian and Butts. Damian sent David Moore and Tyrell Williams, and Butts sent Bilal Powell and Josh Reynolds.
I didn't really get this trade.
Yeah, I saw it.
One wanted Bilal Powell, one of them wanted Tyrell Williams.
Yeah, listen, I saw the email pop up on my phone, and then the only thing I saw was Butts and Damian traded, and the first thing I saw was David. So I'm like, if Damian sent Butts David Johnson for nothing, I'm kind of going to be pissed off. But it was David Moore, so I'm like, all right, yeah, I don't understand this trade either. It doesn't really seem to, I don't know, I don't get it. Damian just sent wide receiver depth to Butts, and Butts got rid of his running back depth. I don't know. I don't think it. Are those guys really going to, are they going to start any of those pieces that they just got? I don't know.
No, and the thing is, I don't think either of these teams are pushing for a championship, and I don't think either of them are getting relegated, so I don't give a shit what goes on. This is boring-ass trade.
Yeah, it's really pointless for me, honestly. Like, after I saw it, I'm like, nah, whatever.
Anyways, and then we had the waivers in between. The hot buy of the week was Jermaine Kearse.
Yeah,
you got him for $16.
Yeah, let me pull up the waiver report here.
Yeah, Jermaine Kearse went as the most expensive, followed by Albert Wilson, and then Baker Mayfield. But,
yeah.
I mean,
I was going back and forth between how much I really wanted to bid on Jermaine Kearse last night, and then I opened it up and it was at 17, and I'm like, I don't know. And so I'm like, I'm just going to drop it down just a little bit. And I guess I'm glad I didn't drop it any lower than I did because I got him by 1 point. I mean, it wasn't a necessity for me, but I figured I would rather have him than somebody else have him and use him against me. So
nice bidding.
Yeah, worked out this time.
And then obviously the trade that just happened before this was I traded for Amari Cooper to Ricky. I gave him Wendell Smallwood, Dallas, Paul Richardson, and Robbie Anderson. So, I mean, without the concussion news, I guess in my defense, I didn't know he got his face taken off in a concussion. But that was just, if you look at Amari Cooper's matchups, weeks 14, 15, 16, I think, or maybe it's 13, 14, 15. I don't know. It's just super juicy. And I'm all in on the zero RB strategy. And if Amari Cooper is my last flex spot in a high upside play where I'm trying to score a lot of points, I guess it's whatever. I guess maybe I probably could have gotten him without Wendell Smallwood being in that trade. But outside of that, I think it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah, I guess essentially, like you'd said previously, more or less it was Dalvin Cook for Amari Cooper. But I guess I don't necessarily understand it because I'm not as high up on Amari Cooper as you are. I know everyone says, every single year it seems like everyone says this is going to be the year for Amari Cooper, or Amari Cooper's going to do this and that. John Gruden says, I'm going to get the ball to Amari Cooper. And then, I don't know, it just seems like this narrative for Amari Cooper is everyone thinks that, he's next up. But when is it coming? I don't know. I'm convinced it might not ever be coming because, I don't know. I don't think Derek Carr is that good. I think Derek Carr is very overrated, but I'm very biased against the Raiders, obviously, as a Chargers fan. So, I don't know. I guess if you're high on Amari Cooper and you're okay with giving away your running backs for him, more power to you. But I think that I think you're counting on Fitzgerald and Cooper bouncing back to what they're supposed to be, and I don't think that's a guarantee that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think maybe I should stop making trades while I'm super faded out of my mind. But with all that being said, essentially I'm just betting on the chance that, like you said, Larry Fitzgerald or Amari Cooper, one of them can start becoming more predictable and give me that last flex spot to fill in for a high upside play. That's essentially what I'm hoping for there. So,
well, all you got to do is
Latavius is fine there. I think Latavius is going to keep getting the ball. Anytime the Vikings are looking to play balance, Latavius Murray is going to get at least 15 touches a game. So it's whatever. It proved. We talked about Latavius last week. I even said, even though it was against you, I said, man, I actually really love Latavius Murray this week, but unfortunately I think you're going to boom me. Latavius Murray ham. So Viking schedule looks okay, and I think it's fine. Carlos Hyde is fine. But
fair enough.
What do we got after that?
Yeah, we're gonna go over the results of last week and the Survivor Challenge.
So Survivor Challenge, in order, we've already lost Nick, Trevor, Ricky, Drake, Mikey, and so those people previously were eliminated for the $100, and this week losing it was Damien.
Only team score under 100 points this week, so yep, pretty simple.
So that's exactly half the field is gone. There are 6 of us left for Survivor Challenge, and winner gets paid. So
that's right.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if there's any necessarily notable results. I mean, I guess Derek got his first win, and Rob won to separate himself at the top. But other than that, it's just kind of figuring out how it's going to shuffle out in the middle.
Yup, yup, yup. Can you quote that? Yup, yup, yup.
I guess so.
No, can you quote that? Do you know who that is? Yup, yup, yup.
No. Is that one of the dinosaurs from Littlefoot?
You got it. Dude, it's fucking Ducky from Land Before Time.
That's what it is. Littlefoot is the name of the dinosaur. That's not the name of the show.
You knew it, though. That's crazy. So first on mine is me versus Mike Brobes. What's yours?
First one's mine, but other than that, the second one for me is Derek and Nick.
We'll jump into Derek and Nick.
All right.
Lead it off for us while my shit loads.
Yep. All right. Mine's also loading in as well, but I think that both of these teams are relatively they're both avoiding bye weeks for their key players. I think that Derek might have Russell Wilson on bye, but other than that, I think both teams look like they're at full strength. No one's really missing anyone to injury except for Nick losing Devonta Freeman. Actually, I don't know. I'm looking at Nick's injury report, and he does have quite a few guys that might not. I mean, their list is questionable, but I think they'll play. Like, I think Lynch will play. I think Hopkins will play. Ridley will play. So, but all that being said, I think that on paper, Nick's team is better and receives a little more volume, but I think that the ceiling for Derek's team is higher.
Yeah, this is definitely a huge week for Derek to get his second win, obviously against a team that we expect people to try to get their wins against, would be Nick. This one actually could have some big implications later down the line, but overall it's a pretty boring matchup, and sucks Nick's losing Freeman, and that doesn't help out his lineup at all. Is your next matchup you and Ricky?
Yeah, we can get into that one.
For sure.
Well, looking at it before the trade, I was thinking that this is a matchup that there's no way I should lose. But still, after the trade, I don't really think there's any way that I should lose.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not like his team are full of guys that have no chance, because I mean some of them at least get opportunities. Like, I don't know, Ronald Jones sucks, so I guess Peyton Barber is just what they're gonna have to stick with in Tampa Bay. And then if Gase finally decides he's gonna use Drake properly, then I think he's got some upside. But overall, I think that my team's just too safe and his is too volatile to, I mean, unless his team like hits, like his whole team hits and has like his best week so far, which this is the exact thing I said when I played Trevor. Like, I thought his ceiling was the only way he was going to have a chance to beat me, and then I still lost. So I think that unless that happens again, I really don't think there's any way I should lose.
Yeah, you got a couple juicy matchups as well. Obviously, Andy Dalton, Keenan Allen, Saquon Barkley are all good.
Yep.
I agree with everything you said.
I'm not saying it's impossible for him to beat me, but I'm just saying it's going to take some lucky breaks on his part.
And I'm thinking, I think Ricky, even after that trade, Ricky probably has a relegated type team.
We'll see how it shakes out.
My next one would be Gorgat. No, who is it? Get to Black and Team Butts.
Yep, same.
So, all right, I'll lead us off with this one. So we got Damian Brown, owner of Team Get to Black, and we got Kyle Butts, owner of Team Butts, facing off. Battle of the 3 and 3s.
Yep.
Peeping it here, Robert Woods gets a huge upgrade, I guess, with Cooper Kupp being out. Probably more, maybe more red zone looks his way. He was already receiving good volume, so I'm not sure how much of a boost it gives them, but definitely gives them a little bit of a boost. But Damian having Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman goes down really helps out Damian's cause.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Damian's studs are going to be too much here for Kyle Butts to overcome with David Johnson, Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen. Anyways, Golden Tate can always go in, and Tevin Coleman's still getting volume.
Chris Godwin's got a nice matchup with Cleveland.
Yeah, but honestly, both sides of this are really – there's a lot of variance on either side, and I could see either team winning this one. And this is just like a battle of the middle guys.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Damian has a slight edge, being that Butts does not have Antonio Brown this week, which is obviously one of his best players. I think that since Emmanuel Sanders has been so effective for Denver this year, I think that he's going to see Patrick Peterson. So that's obviously, I think Patrick Peterson's the best corner in the league. So obviously when you're being, I don't know if he'll shadow, it's hard to say, but if Patrick Peterson... Corners, it's always hard to say, but like Patrick Peterson's obviously in the top 3. So
yeah, that's fair.
So when you see someone like that, obviously it doesn't help you out. Tyler Boyd against Kansas City should be huge, but it's just one of those things you have no idea. And then Greg Olsen, I guess he's counting on him coming back and getting a bunch of points. I don't know. Give me Damian this week though.
Yep. And next matchup we got Gale Quails, aka Drake's team, and Juices Loose, Mikey Martinez, couple battle of 2-4 teams. Mikey coming off a 3-game losing streak, and Drake coming off a 2-game losing streak. Both these teams don't want to get relegated.
Yeah, they need to turn around.
Don't think either of them will, but Mikey's got to cut it out for him. It looks like this week, considering he doesn't even know who to put in his flex spot. He's got a bunch of buys this week. Not necessarily going to say who I would play. That was him. And Drake, still waiting for Le'Veon Bell to come back. Drake has had this problem all year where he has like too many good bench guys, and it's like actually hard to tell who to start. It'll be curious to see if Albert Wilson starts. I mean, he still has Nelson Aguilar. All the rest of his guys, I guess, are on bye. But.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the thing that's hurting Mikey the most is the fact that Fournette was his first-round pick, and he hasn't had Fournette all year. And I know Fuller is playing, but Fuller, is also – it seems like he isn't getting the normal volumes. Maybe he's not fully 100%, and they're rolling him out there as a decoy. I don't know. Both of them are missing some key players with the bye, since Oakland and Seattle and Green Bay all have those buys. Same with the Steelers, so they're both missing some players. But yeah, the fact that Mikey still has to start Lamar Miller and Pierre Garçon is just, and especially since he doesn't even know who's playing in his flex, which means obviously it's not going to be someone you would imagine is going to put up a decent amount of points. I think Drake should definitely win this one, and if he doesn't, Drake's going to be tilting very hard, because it seems like he already is. So, yeah, give me Drake this week.
Yep, I got Drake. Drake's kind of a shocker being at 2-4. But
yeah, well, I mean, some of his players have been disappointing. I don't want to say Zeke's been disappointing, but he's had his weeks where like he may have needed more out of him. Gronk has been kind of disappointing as far as touchdowns go. He's only scored 1, and it was all the way in week 1. So like I don't know. I guess just some disappointing performances in the wrong weeks for Drake has resulted in him losing 4 times.
Yep. Next matchup is me and Mike Brooks.
Yep.
Team Delaney Saggy Tips versus 4 Down Territory.
Yeah,
what really
scared?
sucks about this week is just such a big deal. Me and Mike face each other, and then Rob and Trevor face each other. So all 4 of the top 4 teams are going at it this week. All 4 are facing each other. So that's really going to shake up the standings. And it stinks because I really think my team actually looks okay and stands a chance, but Mike has the nuts type of matchups. I mean, Mitch Trubisky against New England is totally good. Todd Gurley against San Fran. Joe Mixon against Kansas City.
Well, I would imagine that he's going to play Drew Brees this week. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
I don't think he's going to. I think he's flexing on me.
Maybe. We'll see.
You think he's flexing on me?
What, with Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah.
No, I just think that he hasn't changed it yet. I don't know. I'm sure Mike's in like 10 different fantasy leagues.
I think it's a power move that he's trying to prove how sharp he is. So he's got to play Mr. Trubisky knowing he's going to beat me anyway.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be a sharp play because I could see Gurley, Kamara, and Mixon all putting up 30-plus points. So, like, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard for him to lose games with, like, the stupid floor that Kamara and Gurley are providing his team. Like, anyone who wants to have a chance at beating him just has to hope that his receivers shit the bed and that his tight end doesn't do anything either.
That's what I'm saying. It sucks because I feel like I have one of those teams that could beat his team, but his receivers are just on pretty good matchups, and I don't think this week I'm going to have it in. My team's going to have it in them, but I do have some pretty okay matchups at least to make it close. I like Latavius Murray against the Jets. You got to like Carlos Hyde against Tampa Bay. You got to like OBJ against Atlanta. Michael Thomas against Baltimore sucks, but who knows? If Eric Ebron can do what he's been doing, Kenny Galladay, if he can have a big day, I have a chance. But it sucks that I think his receivers got pretty good matchups. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be
high scoring.
Be swinging.
It's going to be high scoring for sure.
Yeah, and I got Pat Mahomes in a great matchup too. So we'll see what happens. Take us in the last matchup.
Yep, last one is Joe Mixon, yo bitch, Trevor versus xnxx.com/Alexis Texas, Rob David. Shout out.
He's got to share it first.
Yep. Shout out to Rob David for, I know everyone always wants to say that Rob finesses everyone with trades and gets over on people, but Rob, to this point, since he obviously hasn't been here, 0 trades, and the team that he drafted is in first place right now. So I guess that we can no longer say that Rob only wins because of trades.
Do you buy or sell that Rob is going to make a trade before letting his team play 1 week? Like the second he gets his phone, is he going to make a trade that week or not?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Before kickoff, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, I think Rob is going to make a trade because I don't know. This is the first time that we're going to see Rob's team not 100% full strength because of bye weeks. So he's obviously going to be missing one of his consistent producers in James Conner and Aaron Rodgers. But he still has some pretty decent fill-in guys, so I'm not necessarily worried because Melvin Gordon's been dynamite, and Sony Michel has emerged in his role with the injury of Rex Burkhead, and then Julio Jones just obviously gets consistent work. So Rob's team has just been steady.
Rob's going to sell Melvin Gordon for a good wide receiver and an RB2 is my guess.
You see, the thing is, I don't know 100% if he's going to sell Melvin Gordon just yet, because if he sells Melvin Gordon, and I guess he still has Sony Michel and James Conner, but yeah, I don't know. Look, yeah, I agree. Rob's going to make a move.
I don't think Rob's team can win a championship with Derrick Henry, Terrell Pryor, Kelvin Benjamin. James Conner's gone in a couple weeks.
Oh, he's missing Juju as well. I didn't just notice that too.
So, yeah, it's going to be tough sledding. Overall in this matchup, I think you're going to have to see Trevor's done a great job this year of being like one step ahead of the game. He's got a couple good handcuffs. Marlon Mack's a great pick. Christian Kirk and Ito Smith are all fine plays, actually, I would say, right?
Yeah, I would think so too. I think this is a case of both these guys are missing their most important. I mean, I guess not maybe for Rob most important, but Trevor's missing his most important player in Devontae Adams. But the fact that Rob doesn't have Juju or James Conner is going to be big too. So I don't think these teams are going to do maybe what they normally do week to week as far as point totals. But I mean, shit, one of them has to win. So I guess either of them losing is good for me. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. I think that the Chargers really should beat Tennessee, which is obviously good for Rivers and Gordon for Rob. But, I mean, it also seems like the teams that are supposed to beat Tennessee, they somehow end up winning, like the Jaguars. So I think that if there's going to be a week the Chargers just grossly underperform, it's this week. So, and since the rest of Rob's team, aside from Julio Jones and Sony Michel, is kind of a crapshoot, I guess I think Trevor has a chance to edge this one out. I think Trevor has a chance this week, which is good for him because Rob's team's been menacing all year.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Trevor's on a 3-game win streak. He's 4-2. When he was 1-2, and he was shit in the bed that Monday night, assuming that he was going 1-3, and got extremely lucky with Kareem Hunt and Royce Freeman.
He got lucky against me that Anunua got a donut.
it went from we swore he was getting relegated to I'm pretty sure at the end of this week he's going to have a share of first place. Trevor was going to join us, but dude doesn't even know how to work Skype. So
maybe we'll get him later this season.
So that's that. That is the matchups. All the matchups for next week.
Yep.
I have a little buy or sell action for you. Ding, 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 ding. Buy or sell is back.
I'm right.
All right. So Wiseman has not heard any of these buy or sell questions. We've played this before. Everybody knows the rules of buy or sell. It's very simple. Start off with an easy one. Buy or sell. Actually, this isn't that easy, I guess. Buy or sell, multiple Gorgasms getting relegated.
Ooh, you see, he's in a pretty decent hole right now at 1-5, but he does not have the worst team. So I'm gonna say sell because I don't know how he did it, but Derek. I mean, I guess we can see the trades he made, but he turned his team around. So I think he's running a similar strategy to you, where his running backs aren't necessarily so strong, but I like his receivers. David Njoku's only getting more volume week to week, so yeah, I think that Derek has a chance to go on a little win streak here and at least get himself out of last place. So I'm gonna say sell.
Yeah, I'm selling that too. I agree 100%. Next one, buy or sell. The Gale Quails making the playoffs.
Drake's team, I think, is.
We got everybody on his team is very playable, and with these bye weeks coming up,
yeah, I think Drake's team is going to receive a big boost once Hilton starts playing again. I think now that the Patriots have Gordon and Edelman going, I think that it's going to open up the field a little bit more for Gronk. So maybe we'll see less double and triple coverage on Gronk, which might have something to do with why his fantasy point totals have been low as of late. But yeah, I guess it all depends on when Le'Veon Bell comes back. I personally don't think he's going to play till week 10, but if Le'Veon Bell comes back earlier, it's going to help Drake out a lot. So I'm going to say that Drake, has a chance. I think Drake will make the playoffs, but it's going to be one of those last spots, especially if he has to wait till week 10 before he has Bell.
Playoffs.
Yeah, I buy.
Alrighty. Buy or sell, Joe Mixon, yo bitch to make the playoffs.
Oh, I think at 4-2, looking like he should get a win this week, I'm going to say buy. Because once you have 5 wins, realistically, you only have to grab 2 more, and you're in a very good position to make the playoffs. So I'm going to say buy.
Fair enough. Buy or sell, team 4-down territory to secure the 1 seed.
Oh, that one's tough because I think my team's got a pretty good chance at coming out on top, but I think, the fact that he has Gurley and Kamara just makes his team's floor stupid high because those two can score, 70, 80 points between the two of them. So I think that Mike's team is just like with that core, it's too strong to fail. So, yeah, I'm going to say buy. If Mike's not the 1 seed, it's going to be 2 or 3 at least. But guaranteed playoffs for sure.
Buy or sell. Oh, I already asked you that one. It was the Rob makes a trade before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Rob's making the trade. We know that.
All right, buy or sell, 2 out of these 3 teams will be relegated. We have the Carpet Munchers, Golden Taint, and the Gale Quails.
Yeah, and I think the first 2 you mentioned are the 2 that are looking like the biggest relegation candidates. Like I don't hate Nick's team, but especially the fact that he loses Devonta Freeman, it's not looking great.
Sorry, yeah, I agree 100%. I think our 2 teams getting relegated will be Carpet Munchers and the Golden Taint. That leaves me with the buy or sell. I don't have any more. What do you think? Let's take a look at the standings. What do you think the 6 playoff teams will be? Just curious. I mean, we are halfway through the season after this week's over, so we might as well take a couple guesses at it now. What do you think the top 6 teams will be?
It's going to be hard for me to give you necessarily an order, and it's also going to.
I don't need an order.
Right, and it's also going to be pretty difficult to say based on, because we don't know what injuries happen or, who's going to emerge in what teams. But I think that already being 5-1, Rob's team will be in the playoffs. I've already told you that I thought Mike's going to make the playoffs and Drake's going to make the playoffs. So that leaves 3 teams. And I think that having 4 wins already, you and Trevor are both in a pretty strong spot. So barring any collapses between your 2 teams, I think that you guys are pretty safe as of right now. And so that leaves 1 spot, which I think the only 3 teams that are going to have a shot at it would be my team, Butts, and Damien. And personally, I like my team, especially I think my team is significantly safer than the two of theirs, and I also have better bench players that I can fill in for bye weeks. So I think it's going to be so. The list, not necessarily in order, is going to be Rob, you, Mike, Trevor, me, and Drake.
Yeah, I have that exact outcome in no specific order. Damian with this Devontae Freeman thing, Tevin Coleman, who knows if that boosts his situation. Damian has a couple studs where he could, having the one game advantage on Drake could end up being a big deal. But it's only one game with half the season left to go. But obviously is a good team at 3-3. But I hate to sound biased, but I agree, and I'm just going to take Drake, even though he's one game back at 2-4. I think that is the order.
Right, because I mean, even though Drake's 2-4 right now, he still has, assuming that he gets Bell back 100%, he'll have Bell, Zeke, and Gronk, which is just an insane core, which gives him a very high floor and also a high ceiling at the same time. So I think that unless the disappointment continues for Gronk and Bell comes back ASAP, I think Drake's team is going to be fine.
Yep. So that's going to do it for our side of the league. As far as relegation B side goes, the order is still pretty much the same thing. We got Billy Block on top, Team Easy Money. We got Andy Miller tied with him. They're both at 5-1 for first and second. My mom is the sole third place at 4-2. And then we have Killa Cam, and we have Devin Pooley. We have got Ryan Wicker. Those guys are all at 3-3. And then we got Tommy Sheehan and Maddie Sabecki at 2-4, as well as Brandon Johnson. And my brother in dead last at 1-5. And I don't know if my brother's giving up or what, but he could have done some better waiver moves. He hasn't had a good running back all year. He has Le'Veon Bell. He's been sitting on the bench the whole time. But that leaves it for that.
Yeah, I've spoken with Billy, and he seems to think that once he gets up in here, he's just going to run the table up in here as well. And I told him
even more gross. So Billy even had James Conner, and then it's like I was looking at his team today, like, okay, what's he going to be able to do once his luck starts running out? And then I see he has Tevin Coleman. So right now his starting lineup is Andrew Luck, Saquon Barkley, Tevin Coleman, Julio Jones, Adam Thielen,
so gross.
Travis Kelce. He also has Jared Cook, who he can flex, who's been scoring out of his mind. And then it was James Conner in the flex. But now, after logging 90% of the snap last week, his flex spot is Josh Gordon. So Billy just catches break after break after break after break. So it honestly looks like it will be Billy and my friend Andy. But then again, it only takes 1 week because unlike our bottom two, our relegation, the guys getting relegated, are the bottom two after regular season. However, the top two moving in are the top is the championship matchup, so the playoffs matter. So who knows? Maybe Billy loses to the 4 seed, whoever that ends up being. So
yeah, we'll see. Billy's obviously got a good team, but I told him like you can't auto draft once you get to the big league. So
once he gets in with the big boys, he's gonna look real dumb getting relegated the following year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
You got any hot takes?
No, I don't have any hot takes this week. I just want to show some love to my San Diego Chargers. Only 2 losses, Rams and the Chiefs. Looking great this year. Playoffs for sure, especially once Bosa comes back.
How about we show some love to my Dallas Cowboys, who just fucking put a mollywop on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but that is true. It did happen.
My hot take this week is that I don't have one. Larry Fitzgerald scored me a whole bunch of points.
Yeah, you can only hope.
All right, that's it from Nantucketts Revenge. That'll do it for week 7, correct?
Yep.
Catch everybody in week 8. And it'll be interesting to see who's on top. If Trevor has a piece of first, that will be crazy. That's all.
Good luck to all.
That's it.